Hello my students, for Edexcel board. Today we have a discussion for the most recent paper, which is October 2023 for Unit 1 test. That's the cover page of the paper, and you have some instructions. You know that the row mark for this paper is 80 and it is converted to 120. In your external exam, take care that you have a copy of the periodic table in this paper where you have a question that you shall use a copy of the periodic table. You shall use this copy, not the others. In the first question, he is asking you an atom of aluminum, which is 13, 24, 27, forms the ion Al positive 3. What are the numbers of protons, electrons, and neutrons? That's a very easy question. You can see the atomic number tells you that we have 13 protons, and so where we have 13 protons in A and D, and the number of electrons, 3 electrons was lost, so we have 10 electrons, and the number of neutrons is 27 minus 13, which is the mass number minus or subtract from the mass number the protons number. You have 14. So the correct answer for this question is D. Now, for next question, what is the shape of p orbital and the maximum number of electrons it can hold? You know, if you return back to your knowledge about the shapes of the orbitals in 3 dimensions, you know that we have X, Y, and Z. So this is X, this is Y, and this is Z. Now, for each orbital, each kind of orbitals, the S orbitals are spherical, and the P orbitals, they are 3p orbitals, as you know, and those are on the X and Y and Z axis, looks like that. For example, the px, it's the dumbbell shape. So the shape of the p orbital is like C or D, but because he is asking you about 1p orbital, so it can hold only 2 electrons, since we have px, py, and pz. So we have 3 orbitals. For each one of these, it can hold what? 2 electrons. So the correct answer is C. Now, for next question, the formula of the calcium chloride is carbide. Calcium carbide is CaC2. What is the formula of the carbide ion? Since Ca is positive 2, it is positive 2, so it can hold 2, it can be charged with it, or you know the charge of calcium is positive 2. Now to balance the C2, it's a carbide ion, so it is C2 negative 2 to balance the charge of the calcium positive 2. So the correct answer is C2 negative 2. Now, excess calcium carbide and 10 grams of water reacts to form the hydrocarbon ethine. Okay, so then he is asking you, what's the mass of ethine? What is the mass of ethine that forms, assuming a yield of 100%? The molar mass of water is 18, and the molar mass of C2H2 is 26. Okay, let us analyze the question there. Excess calcium carbide and 10 grams of water, so you can find the mass of water that reacts with carbide, okay, to produce the ethine, and there is 100%, so there is no loss of any atom. So all the atoms in the products was formed. So the first step to find this solution is to find the number of moles of water. So we will start to find moles of water. The moles equals the mass over the molar mass, and this equals 10 over 18. Okay, so the answer is 10 over 18, which equals 0.556, for example, moles. Okay, and then he is asking you what's the mass of ethine. Ethine is one of the products, so you will find that by using the molar ratio in the equation. Moles of ethine C2H2 equals the 0.556, which is over 2, since the ratio is 2 to 1, so over 2 equals 0.277 moles. After that, you shall multiply by the molar mass, the number of moles, by the molar mass of ethine. So it's moles times molar mass, which equals 0.277 times what? Times 26. I kept the answer on the calculator, so times 26. So you will find 7.22 grams. So that's the answer, which is A. Now, the next question is, which diagram best represents the electron density map of sodium chloride? Okay. Sodium chloride. You know, sodium chloride is ionic substance in which there is a high difference of electronegativity. So we are talking about 100% ionic substance because the electronegativity is different. And you shall keep in your mind that there is a difference in radius. So sodium is smaller than a chloride. So the first one is a probable answer. A is a probable answer, while according to the size, B is not correct because sodium ion is smaller than a chloride ion. In part C, it is not covalent. Here we have equal electronegativity atoms or covalent bond. So the most probable correct answer is A, because it represents the high difference in the electronegativity and it's a good choice for sodium chloride. Keep in your mind there is a relation between the atomic radius of the ions and the electronegativity difference, where it's in the sodium chloride, it's very high, so we have high percentage of ionic substance or ionic characters. As you can see, for each one multiple choice, you have 1 mark. Now, what type of bonding are present in compound ammonium chloride? Okay, in the ammonium chloride, you shall memorize that we have 2 ions first, and you can draw the type of bonding. Like, for example, we have 2 ions, NH4 positive and Cl negative, which gives what? The ionic bond. So the first kind of ionic, so we have 3 choices where the ionic are ticked. Okay, so it is A and C and D are probable for the ionic. Now for the covalent, we have NH4, so it is like that because we have a dative covalent bond between nitrogen and hydrogen in the ammonium ion. So the type of bonding is covalent and dative covalent bonds. So the 3 types of bonding exist in the molecule. So the correct answer is D. Now, the electronic configuration of the atom of 4 elements are shown. What's the electronic configuration of atom of elements which has the lowest first ionization energy? Okay, let me tell you something. The ionization energy value, it depends on how much the electron is attracted to its nucleus. Where we have a lower number of shells, this means that A has the highest because all the other elements in B, C, and D have 3 shells. So here we have 3 shells also. But you see in B and C and D, we have 3p, and you know 3p is further from the nucleus compared to 3s. So this one, A, it will be the highest ionization energy because it's closer to the nucleus. So a question asks you, which one has the lowest? Now, to compare 3p1, 3p2, and 3p3, this means that the atomic number was increased and the charge of the nucleus. So you will see this one is most attracted. This is most attracted to the nucleus, okay, because it's closer and it is with a higher positive nuclear charge. So you will see 3p1 is less attracted because it's a nucleus or the atom or the nucleus of this atom, it will attract the 3p1 by a higher attraction force, so much more with lower attraction force, sorry, it's with lower attraction force, so it will requires the lowest energy to be knocked out or to remove it from the atom. So B is the correct answer. Now, for next one, for the next question, question 7. Yes, we finished the question 6. Now, question 7. Okay. A direct electrical current was passed through the green solution of copper 2 chromate, chromate 6 in the apparatus shown. We have the positive electrode and the negative electrode, copper 2 chromate 6 solution. You know the color of the copper 2 is blue and its charge is positive 2. So the blue color will be beside the negative electrode, so A or C. And you know that the chromate 6 has yellow color, so you will see positive electrode will attract the negative terminal, and you will see that the green or the yellow, sorry, one goes to the positive electrode. That's why it is C. Okay, this is again according to the Cu positive 2 was attracted to the negative electrode and its color is blue. And for chromate solution, chromate 6, which is CrO4 negative 2, that's yellow 1. Okay? Now, let's go further within the paper. In question 8, in which region of the mass spectrometer are particles ionized? Okay, you will see it's ionized where? In Q, since P is vaporized, it is converted to vapor, and here Q, it is ionization chamber. So you will see that the answer is part Q, where the steps of the mass spectrometer shall be selected or shall be known. The ionization is in the first part, then the vaporization, then the ionization, then the acceleration and deflection in the coming parts. Now, a sample of the elements chlorine was analyzed in the mass spectrometer. Chlorine has 2 isotopes. What is the total number of peaks due to the ions with single positive charge, which could be seen in the mass spectrometer? You know, for the chlorine we have 2 isotopes, and you know in the mass spectrum of a chlorine we have the molecular 9 to 6 to 1. That's 9 to 6 to 1. And you have the 2 peaks, which they are molecular at 35 and 37 in the ratio 75% and 25. And this is 9 to 6 to 1 for 70, 72, and 74. Those are the molecular peaks. So for the molecular peaks, you will find what? 3 and 2 for the atomic peaks. So the answer is 5 lines or 5 signals. Now, propene CH3CH2 reacts with the hydrogen chloride to form halogenoalkanes. Which of these steps is most likely to occur in the reaction? Okay, now, in the mechanism, HCl was added to the double bond. Let us draw the structure. You can see there CH3, and here we have C double bond and C double bond H, and here we have the hydrogen also. You will see that when this is reacted with the double bond comes to this, and what we have, there is a formation, because he is asked you the most likely to occur in this reaction. Here it's better to select the chlorine to be attached to the secondary carbocation rather than the primary. So the first one is incorrect because it is, but it is for the primary carbocation. Here we have 1, 2, 3, and this, if the hydrogen is added to this carbon, then the primary carbocation, it's a possible attachment. In the second one, it's wrong. In the third one, it can be attached since it is a secondary carbocation and the double bond or the hydrogens added according to the Markovnikov's rule, the hydrogen shall be added to the more hydrogen atom. So the most probable or the most likely to occur, the most abundant one, is when you add the chlorine, the nucleophile, to the secondary carbocation rather than the primary. So to produce the major product, C is the most correct answer. Now, the reaction of propene with hydrogen chloride is an example of free radical substitution. That's wrong. A free radical addition. It's an electrophilic addition reaction. So the correct answer is D. You shall memorize the names and the probabilities of the types of reactions or the mechanism. Ethene reacts with acidified potassium manganate. 7. Students makes 4 statements about the reaction. The organic products can show geometric isomers. No, because there is no double bond. The type of the reaction that takes place is oxidation. That's right. The double bond is oxidized. So this is correct sentence. And the bond angle around each carbon atom are greater in the product. It is converted from trigonal planar, which is 120, to 109 in a tetrahedral. So that's wrong, and this is wrong. The acidified potassium manganate 7 decolorizes in this reaction. So we have 2 sentences which they are correct. Okay. Now, the next question, concentration in mixtures, can be given in units of parts per million. And the sample of the gaseous mixture contains 2.19% carbon dioxide by mass. What is the concentration of carbon dioxide in part per million? Okay, we can solve this question like that. Imagine that you have 2.19 in 100. How much do you have in 1 million? That's the way how to solve the answer. So it will be 2.9 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, equals over 100. So this equals 2.19 times 10 to the power 4. Yeah, that's it. So it will be 2.19 times 10 to the power 9 times 10 to the power 4. Okay. A solution of lead nitrate has a concentration of 15 parts per million by mass. What's the mass of the lead nitrate in 1400 grams? So we have 14 or we have 15 grams in 10 to the power 6 grams. That's the unit. He's asking you how much do we have in 400 grams. So you can calculate it by 15 times 400 equals over 1 million. So this equals 6 times 10 to the power. Okay, he's asking you in grams. So it will be 6 times 10 to the power negative 3 grams. So A is the correct answer. Make sure that he gave you 6 to the power kilograms, and you shall take care within the units of the answer. Which solution contains a chloride ion with the concentration of 0.5? He is asking about the ions there. And you can see that he gave you the molar mass or the relative atomic mass of each atom, calcium, chlorine, sodium. Because we have two compounds there, we can find the molar mass of each compound. And for calcium chloride, the molar mass is 40.1 plus 2 times 35.5, and this is 111. So CaCl2 molar mass equals 111.1. Okay, and for NaCl, it's only 23 plus 35.5, which is 58.5. Now to find the moles of each one, it is the mass over the molar mass of each one. So the number of moles for chloride ion in the first calcium chloride, so we can calculate 1.39 over 111.1. That's the number of moles times 2. So we are talking about the number of moles, and this is over 0.25. This equals 0.1. Now for the second one, it's 1.39 over, it's calcium chloride also, so it is 111.1. That's the number of moles times 2. This equals the number of moles over 0.5. So this will give us 0.1. Okay, let me find the answer again. So it is 1.39 over 111.1. So that's the number of moles over 0.5 equals times 2, because it's, so this one will give us 0.5. So that's the correct answer. For question 14, the formula of phosgene is CaCl2. What's the total number of atoms in 9.9 grams of phosgene? The Avogadro's constant is blah, blah, blah. Now, you will find what's the total number of atoms in 9.9 grams of phosgene. First of all, we shall find the moles, the total number of moles of phosgene in CaCl2. So it is 9.9, okay, over 99. So this is the total number of the molecules, 9.9 over 99. So it is 0.1. But you know, because we have four atoms, so the moles of atoms, it's 0.1 times 4. And to find the number of moles, the number of atoms, you shall multiply this by 6.02 times 10 to the power 23, the Avogadro's constant. So it is times 6.02 times 10 to the power 23. That's equals, so 0.1 times 0.4 times 6.02 exponential 23. This will give us 2.41 times 10 to the power 22. So the 22, wait. Let me find the correct answer again. It is 9.9 over 99. That's 0.1 times 4 equals, okay, this is the number of moles of atoms, and this is times 6.02 exponential 23. That equals 2.423. So the correct answer is D. Right. Now, question 15. What's the number of structural isomers of C5H12? Okay, first of all, we can draw the structure of the long chain alkane, where we have 1, 2, 3, 5, 12 hydrogen atoms. That's the normal pentane, where we have 12. Another structure is where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is, so 2 methyl group. And the third one is where you have this, and you can see that we have only 3 structural isomers. You can't draw more than these structures. Okay. In this question, a cyclic hydrocarbon has the structure shown. How many pi and sigma bonds are present in the molecule? You will see that because we have 2 double bonds, we draw the structure first. Okay. In this structure, you will see it's like that. We have like this, and you can see the hydrogens are not shown in the structure, and you can see that we have double bonds there. So here we have hydrogen, only one hydrogen, one hydrogen. Here we have one hydrogen, one hydrogen. And you will see that the sigma bonds are in green. So how many sigma bonds? Only we have 2 pi, and sigma are 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you will see there are 11. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11 sigma. So the correct answer is A. Now, the next question is, a technician is asked to store 4 reagent bottles safely. The only information about each substance is the hazard labeled on the bottle. Based on the hazard labels alone, which 2 bottles should never be stored together? The first one is flammable, and it's catch fire. The second one, it's a flammable. This is corrosive, and this one is toxic. So you can see that one which can be oxidized by fire, and the flammable one, you can put them in with each other. So W and X, which is in C. You shall memorize the hazardous parts. Okay, like that, my students, we finished the first section in this paper, which is the multiple choice questions. Thank you for good listening. Follow up my videos for the coming parts. Thank you.